we also need to understand the time frame of the story. How long does this take? Several places in the oral law, in the Talmud, it says for 6,000 years the world was created, which doesn't mean from the Big Bang to the end of the universe is 6,000 years. But from the end of that day 6, the creation of human beings, to the end of normative history is a maximum of 6,000 years. Where's the 6 coming from in 6,000? Clearly, the 6 days of creation. And in Jewish time, the weeks begin not on Monday, but on Sunday. And in Israel, we don't call it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, those pagan god names from the Vikings. We call it Yom Rishon, Yom Sheni, Shlishi, first, second, third day. So just as every day of the week is mirroring a day of creation, Judaism is saying that every day of the week is equivalent to 1,000 years of human history, which means from the year 1 to 999 would be the equivalent of Sunday or day 1. From 1,000 to 1,999, Monday, day 2. Now, in the Jewish weekly cycle, when you get to the end of day 6, which is Friday, you enter the 7th day, which is Shabbat, which is called not the 7th day, but Shabbat, precisely because Shabbat has a different energy and a power. Judaism doesn't believe so much in holy space, but in holy time. And that one day of the week has a unique energy and a unique opportunity to connect, recharge, and grow spiritually in a way you cannot do the other 7 days. So just as we have a 7th day, the end of the week, the culmination, the high point, so too we're told in history, when we get to the year 6,000, which is the beginning of the 7th millennia, we enter a period of time called Olam Haba, the world to come, which, by the way, is not where you go when you're dead. Judaism says when a person dies, and death is the separation of the soul from the body, the soul goes to Olam HaNeshamot, the soul world, heaven, so to speak. The body, which is just physical, is recycled. And if the soul made the right decisions down here while it was stuck in the body, and that's what we're judged on, the decisions we make, the free will we use, then we get to hang out there as a soul with that first-class pleasure that we mentioned previously, the highest level pleasure. But if not, we can get recycled back into a body, transmigration of souls, reincarnation, to try and earn some more points, which, by the way, means, Judaism would say, if we're here now, we've been here before. But Olam Haba, the world to come, which is that 7th millennia, is when the world is in a different reality like Shabbat. Concepts of resurrection of the dead, final judgment, that takes place there. Judaism also talks about that during the weekly cycle, as we get out of Friday night into Shabbat, into that Sabbath, that twilight period where it's not really Friday anymore because Jewish days begin at sunset. The stars haven't quite come out, but the sun is set. That twilight period we call Kabbalat Shabbat, the period when we're about to accept the Sabbath, the transitional period. And Judaism says there's a Kabbalat Shabbat, a transitional period in human history, which is called the Messianic era. Which, by the way, even though most people think of Messiah, a Christian concept, it's originally a Jewish concept that Christianity took from Judaism. The Messiah is a human being with a certain lineage and leadership skills and spiritual potential and knowledge of Torah who acts as a catalyst, like we say in chemistry, to speed up the process. And his job is to prepare not just the Jewish people, but the whole human race to get to that final 7th day, that Olam Haba. And Judaism teaches he has to complete that job by the year 6,000. Not show up at 6,000, but be done by it. People always want to ask me, what if the Messiah doesn't come by the year 6,000? I always give the same answer. Ask for your money back. It hasn't happened yet. I'm not a prophet. But once we enter that 7th millennia, the year 6,000, we're in Olam Haba. So where are we in our story now then? Well, Jewish calendar year is 5779. If every day of the week is 1,000 years, and when we hit the year 5,000, we're in that 6th day, we're in Friday. 5,500 is halfway through the hours of the day. 5,750, 3/4 of the way through the day. 5779, where are we? This would be the equivalent of late Friday afternoon. This would be the time in an Orthodox or observant Jewish home that keeps the Sabbath, the wife would generally be yelling at the husband to get in the shower because it's going to be Shabbat soon. And by the way, one of the laws of Shabbat is no matter when you start preparing for Shabbat, even if it's at the beginning of the week on Sunday, a half hour before sunset, the hard deadline of sunset before Shabbat, everyone is running around like crazy trying to get everything done. Everything speeds up and gets really intense as we approach Shabbat. So too we say in human history, everything is going to speed up and get really intense as we approach that final deadline. But do the math. 6,000 minus 5,779, what do we got left? 221 years, and that is a maximum. And just like in Jewish tradition, we don't wait till sunset to bring in Shabbat, we bring it in early. So too Judaism teaches, and many Jewish sources indicate that that event can happen way before that final deadline. So if we put it all together, we understand that we are very close to the end of this ultimate story, with a maximum of 221 years left and probably a lot less time than that. I'm Ken Spiro, and you're watching JTV.
To stay up to date with JTV content, click subscribe here if you're on YouTube and hit the alarm bell. And if you're on Facebook, hit the like button and under following, click see first. If you enjoy watching JTV content and want to help us continue to grow, please consider making a donation to us by clicking here.